Welcome to Dove and Dragon Radio. I'm your host, M.l.Ruscsak. I'm here with special guest, David Matthews. Welcome.
Hey, how are you, M.l.?
Oh, awesome. Now, you have a wonderful book out. It's a little bit of a fantasy based on a baseball team. So what is this about?
All right. So as we all know, or as I like to say, and I do this all the time, is I use baseball as a metaphor for life, and I always have, probably since about the age of 8. I started basically symbolizing everything that was going on in my life to something that has played out in baseball in life. So that is the way I look at it. That was really what I was going for this. It is a coming of age story, and yes, there is a real team involved, but this is a fictional version of that team, and that team is the Houston Astros. So, I know that you may have a lot of fans out there. A lot of your listeners may not like to hear that, but if this book is phenomenal. It is a love story wrapped in a mystery, wrapped in a possible murder, wrapped in a really lucid mental affair between a high school senior and his English teacher. And baseball is really kind of just the backdrop or the background for this story. But when I wrote this book, which was back in 2010, the Astros were a horrible team. They weren't cheating. They weren't doing anything wrong. They just were just a bad team. They were losing 100 games a season.
They were going through a very, very rough streak, if I remember correctly.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were for a really long time. So, it was written as one of these things that I was kind of hoping, man, if I write this in 2010 and I can publish it in like 2012, then it'll make a lot of noise, and maybe it'll help build up the fans over at Minute Maid Park. That did not happen because we did not get that thing published till about 2 years ago.
Yeah, sometimes it takes longer, especially with sports books.
Yes,
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why it takes so long with sports books, but yeah, I see that a lot actually.
It's the there's one of my all-time favorite baseball books is actually a short story written by Stephen King called For Love of the Game, and it was obviously made into a major motion picture with Kevin Costner, but the story is just brilliant. And again, Stephen King is a big Boston Red Sox fan, so again I'm bringing in another team that is not really all that loved by by Yankee fans or anything like that. So, but it's just an absolute brilliant love story. And I mean, that's really, in all honesty, what Texas Heat truly is it is a love story wrapped in a mystery, wrapped in a murder that has a background of Major League Baseball. And it is a sensationally phenomenal, fun book to read, quick read. You could read it on a plane ride, or a train ride.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, we don't. We tell people in the car, but yeah, let's not do that.
Driving, don't read it.
Yeah, let's put a disclosure in there. And I can't talk today. I mean, seriously. No, we need to put a disclosure because we have people trying to text and drive and play video games while driving.
Yeah, no. Yeah, if you have the book in the car and you are not driving, read it. Read it out loud so your driver can hear it. But definitely do not read it while you are driving the car.
Yeah, I like putting disclaimers anymore because did you see the one car driver that was playing a video game and crashed the car?
Yes, I did. Yeah, that's.
I mean, when we have to start putting flavors.
Well, I mean, if you have a self-driving car, then I guess it's okay. But even with self-driving cars, they still tell you to pay attention to the road because, sometimes you might have to take the wheel or the brake or the gas pedal or something. So, you we don't want any more distracted drivers in this country than we already have. So let's make it perfectly clear that if you are in the car, if you are driving, don't read the book.
Yeah. So, do we have any more books coming out from you? Let's get to that one first.
Yes, we do. I just finished editing, or I just finished having my next novel edited, which is a book called Illyria, and it is a absolute fantasy. It is I would say for adults from the age of about 18 to 80, I would say that this is going to have 3 books. Illyria is a story about a young man by the name of Cameron, who at the age of 17 finds out that everything is not as it seems in his life, that there are things happening around him that shouldn't be happening to them because they're supernatural. They're not of this world, and he doesn't understand what's going on. To make matters worse, Cameron's mother and father get killed at the start of the book, and he is let in on certain aspects of his life that he actually doesn't believe until he's actually shown them, and until he goes through trials and tribulations to find out basically that he is the savior of all mankind and monster kind. That's the next one coming out,
Do we have an idea when that one is going to be out?
Yes, my hope is to have I'm waiting on the cover art to get finished up by my very talented cousin. And once that is done, it'll take about 2 to 3 weeks. So we should hopefully have it out online on Amazon and on BarnesandNoble.com probably within the next month and a half. Within the next month and a half, I'm very, very, very excited. This one is insane. It's crazy. It's everything that you could want in a somewhat apocalyptic setting, I would guess. I mean, it's not really apocalyptic yet, but it's going to get to that point in the series. Mm-hmm. So it's very much, it is my homage to J.R.R. Tolkien, my homage to C.S. Lewis, my homage to Stephen King with The Gunslinger, but this is a story unlike anyone has ever read before. And part of what I can't talk about is part of is part of the book that I want people to discover on their own. But what they are going to find is that the book is extremely character driven. It's extremely character driven. Every page reveals a new secret. Every page reveals a new character or a new ability of a character. There are about 5 main characters in this story. They all are actually created off of people that I know, because who better to write about than people that you know, and you can turn into really creative characters and creative humanoids, if you will. Because the battles that are in this first book are awesome. They are violent. They are bloody. The language is pretty fierce, and the sexual situations are pretty.
Let's put a disclaimer on this. It's not suitable for kids under 16.
I would say that 16 and up, you could do that. You know, if you're a sophomore, junior in high school, you should be able to read this book. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And
I'm big.
Go ahead.
As a mother, I'm big on disclaimers. So.
Yes. I was fortunate. You know, it's funny because when I was growing up, I was born in '75, so really I started to hit the. I was a freshman in high school in 1990, but by the time I was a freshman in high school, I had read everything that Stephen King, H.P. Lovecraft, Clive Barker had written up to that time, and I started reading this stuff at 10 years old. And I was telling my folks about this interview yesterday at the hospital because my daughter actually just had open heart surgery yesterday, her 5th.
Oh my goodness, is she okay?
She's doing great, actually. She is.
Good.
She's in ICU right now, but she was only under the knife for about 6.5 hours yesterday. We were planning on about 8 or 9. We were planning on her being on the bypass machine for at least 4.5 hours. She was only on it for like less than 2, which is incredible. Her heart is stronger probably now than it has ever been. My daughter suffers from a bad heart. She's had 5. Her first was at the age of 6 weeks old. Her fourth was at the age of 3, so she doesn't remember any of the 4. But two Christmases ago, she was also diagnosed with thyroid cancer at the age of 10. And when she was born, she was diagnosed with 22q syndrome, which is a deletion of the 22nd chromosome. So she is a walking, talking miracle, and to see her, like to know her on a daily basis, you would never know. You would never know that there's anything wrong with her at all. You would not know it. She is absolutely just, it's wild. I don't even really know what to say. She leaves me speechless, quite honestly. Both my daughters and my son, all 3 of my kids, leave me speechless. But the fact that she is able to endure so much and come out on the other side, it just shows me that, anything is possible, which is why I know these books are going to do well, because anything is possible. Every dream is achievable, and that's one thing that I like to tell people. If you believe in something hard enough, if you work at it as hard as you possibly can, it's going to pay off. It will pay off.
I tell people this every day, almost on my show. You have to work your business. It doesn't matter if you're working to become a manager at McDonald's or working to become a CEO of a company one day. You have to work your path. You can't just expect it to drop in your lap.
There are some people that get that wonderful experience of having things dropped in their lap, but more times than not, and I would say probably 9 times out of 10, that does not happen. So yes, you have to work with the hand that you have been dealt, and you can't give up. You can't quit. You can't say, oh, you know what, I'm bored, I'm not going to write today, because I spend every single day, even yesterday, I spent at least 6 hours writing. And it's one of these things where I write 7 days a week. I don't take days off. But, my job actually is really a blast. So it's really not hard for me to pick up my laptop and sit there and create new worlds, new people, new characters, things that I know that there are a lot of people out there that if they actually do read this stuff, they are going to love it. And they're going to want to see it on the small screen or the big screen, and that's what I need right now for the big push for Texas Heat and for Illyria. But I have a feeling that Illyria is going to do a lot of damage here very quickly. It is really a superb yarn. It blows my mind that it came out of my brain. I have to be honest with you. It really does. It blows my mind that it came out of my brain.
Isn't it funny?
Texas Heat is another one. It blows my mind that it came out of my brain. Now, I have been writing as I would call myself a professional since 1994, since I graduated from high school, since I went to college, and I started writing. I've been writing poetry since I was 10. I've been writing short stories since I was 12, and I started writing screenplays and teleplays right after high school. I've just got I write so much that I literally have tubs of writing, and it's inane how much I have and how much is available and how much is ready to be read by the world, And I really honestly, I think I have a voice that can reach a lot of people. Really, Illyria, the whole trilogy. What's that?
It's just finding your audience, that one key person, that one key influencer. And that's why we do these interviews.
And this is awesome. In all honesty, this is one of the best interviews I've ever done. So, but I will say this, you more so than probably any interviewer I've spoken to put me at ease right off the bat. You know, we just got real chill with each other really quick, and very easy to open up to you, and I like that. You have a very, very good interview style. I have to tell you, I'm really quite impressed by. You know, it's obvious that you love your job, and that's important too. So you got to love it, because if you're going to do it, don't do it if you hate it.
Exactly. I mean, I try to get this out to my entire network, between my fans on Facebook, the people, my professional network with this on LinkedIn, and then my followers on Twitter, and then everyone else that just listens regularly. So I try to get the authors as much out there as possible. I lose words. I'm sorry. I've had 3 strokes. I just lose the words.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is incredible. You sound fantastic.
Oh, you heard me back in 2011. Yeah. I didn't have any voice.
Wow.
But, yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure that you probably know this. You know that the actress Sharon Stone has had 2 massive strokes as well, too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
No. I do this for people because I'm like, you know, tomorrow's not promised. I've been there. I'm like, I've had 3 strokes and brain surgery. I live for today, so who can I help today? So I make it my mission to help as many authors as possible.
And that's soul lifting, man. That's wow. Wow. Do you have issues walking or anything like that?
Actually, the first time I walked after my strokes was in 2013 on my wedding day without a cane. It took me 2 years to learn to walk again. We're in 2020. I am now back into a gym full time and almost ready to get back into martial arts.
Wow, that is cool. That's tough, man. That's right there with my daughter. That is, God, 3?
3.
Jeez. Yeah, you know, I mean, I won't take an excuse from anybody now, ever.
No.
I mean, sometimes, I mean, that is unbelievable. I am. You're like, seriously. After my daughter's surgery yesterday, everything today at the hospital, coming home, talking to you, getting the opportunity to talk to you about my stuff, and man, that is.
Yeah, I don't take I can't as an answer from anyone.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you can't. You can't. No is not a. There is no in my vocabulary.
No.
Wow. Yeah, you know, I've had a. I'm sorry.
I talk to producers and directors all the time that tell me they can't do something. I'm like, are you alive today? Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you can do it. Do you want to do it?
Are you staying safe and healthy and away from big crowds right now, I hope?
I am completely isolated.
Yeah, that's...
My immune system, unfortunately, is the one thing I can't get back. So, yeah, I am isolated.
That's my daughter. She has a lower it has the same issue. My wife actually has a very low immune system too. I, on the other hand, I haven't gotten a flu shot in 10 years, and I'm not advocating for that, but I haven't had the flu in like 15 years. So it's just It's one of those things. I used to really, really, really do a good job of really, really taking care of myself, like working out 6 days a week, and I kind of lazed out on that when I met my wife and we got married and Bella and everything else. But yeah, now I have no excuse, so I'm going to start doing insanity again soon, like this week. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I take an hour a day and I work out at least 1 to 2 hours. I'm lifting weights because I have to. I have to do that core training. I'm not going to be walking if I don't keep up with core training. And then
you're doing core training. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. If anyone understands core training, it's not just doing weights. There's a specific method.
No. Oh yeah. And it's not easy. There's nothing easy about that at all. Like wow, that is. Yeah, it's
I
kind of want to make it.
Yep. I'm getting back to the point where I want to be back into kickboxing. That's my goal.
Nice.
So I have my goal. I see it. But that's a me goal. That's not a professional goal. My professional goal is actually working right now. So it's good to have goals that you set for yourself, because when you have your goals, writing, getting movies made, whatever it may be, then you don't take the no for an answer. It's not a dream now. Yeah,
it's Disney's Hollywood right now, and that really doesn't bother me, I guess, as it originally did. I don't have a problem with what they're trying to do However, I still have a gigantic problem with the most recent Star Wars movies that they made. Other than Rogue One, I just and I probably just screwed myself with Disney right now. Damn. No. No,
I can't. There's so many movies out there right now. I'm like, why? Are we running out of content to write or make on the big screen? Seriously, I have 50 scripts. Let's talk.
Yeah, I mean, I've got at least 40 or 50 that are ready to go. I mean, seriously, that's exactly right. And then the books, every book that I've written so far, even if they haven't been published yet, is ready for television or film. And sadly, I would love to do Illyria for television, but I just think it's going to be too darn expensive to do for television, so it's probably going to have to be done as a film. But then again, The Lord of the Rings is being made right now for television, so I mean, I don't know. I guess if I get the right people interested in that series of books, then that would be the hope. And then Texas Heat also has 2 more books to it as well. Avery Harris's story continues, and there's going to be the second book is going to blow people's minds. It's going to blow their minds. You got to start at the beginning, but then that middle book is just always the opportunity that you have to just do so many different things. And I always look at that middle book as my Empire Strikes Back, because that is the greatest Star Wars movie ever made, and in my mind, probably the greatest science fiction movie ever made besides the original Alien. But, I mean, I write for an audience, and I try to write for everybody. And I feel like every single one of my novels, especially Texas Heat and Illyria specifically, both those two have something for everybody. And in all honesty, Texas Heat is really, I think women will probably find it just as fascinating and as intriguing as men will. And I have to say the same thing for Illyria. I think there's 100 million people out there that would enjoy Illyria. It's unlike anything. I mean, there's no comparison to any of that book. I mean, there's really no comparison to Texas Heat. It sounds like a pornographic title. I get that, but it's just a play on words, really, for Texas Heat, because it's not at all pornographic, and I mean, it's actually young adult. I mean, it's good for 14 and up. I'd let my high schooler read it, but he doesn't want to because he likes other stuff besides mine. And I don't want to force anything down his throat. yeah.
Well, here's the thing. My daughter, for my first 3 books, was my editor. She's to the point where, Mom, I don't want to read your stuff no more. I love editing. It's just, no. But then she'll come up here into my office and go, I think your characters need to do this. But you don't know where my story is right now. Well, I still think they need to be doing this. I'm like, okay. I'll get right on that.
You know, I hope for the day that my kids do get really interested in my stuff and like are just like, wow, you know, this is really good, or, you know, Dad, I can't believe you sold 50 million copies of this book. You know, something along those lines would be really awesome to hear one day. And you know, just to play back, I'd be like, I don't understand either. It's not like it's good, you know, good literature or anything, but you know, and right now, with the way things are going in this country and around the globe, people are going to be inside, and what better to do than to curl up with a really awesome book.
Exactly.
You know?
I say this all the time. I'm like, I haven't watched TV in almost 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
I watch TV a lot, but I still work, so.
Yeah, I don't watch TV. I can't. I try to turn it on every once in a while for background noise. My boyfriend gets so irritated with me because he'll be talking actors' names, like, have you seen this movie with this actor? And I'm like, honey, what are you talking about? And I'm like, hey, I'm a bookworm and I'm an author and I write.
That's exactly, you know, I mean, it's one of those things where you learn more, you just do, from reading the written word than you do from what's on TV. Take a break from the media, take a break from the news, make sure you keep up with the WHO and the CDC, but read a good book. Stay inside, have enough food, have a bottle of wine, and, you know, or, you know, a glass of milk or whatever, you know. If you're not 21, don't drink. But I mean, it's important, and one of the things that is very sad to me is the state of the written word right now is that we have literally in this country, we have one major bookstore franchise in this country, and that is Barnes & Noble. Not that there is anything at all wrong with Barnes & Noble, but I mean, I remember when this country used to be flooded with like Walden
with
books
bookstores.
Just, are we going to ever see the day again when we actually get the opportunity to go back into bookstores and really enjoy ourselves again and have more than just one bookstore that we can choose from? Now, again, mind you, I love Barnes & Noble. I'm not knocking Barnes & Noble. I'm just knocking the rest of the country because we only have one major bookstore. And, you know, we have half-price books, and they're awesome. I love half-price books. And I love libraries, and, you know, libraries just seem kind of almost dead to me. That's really sad, and I wish more people would go into a library and check out a book, but, you know, I mean, so many can get them online now. And that's great, too.
We're almost out of time, so before we run out of time, because this kind of went quickly, where can our listeners find you?
You can find me at, you can email me at davidmatthewswriter@gmail.com, and you can hit up my website at davidmatthewswriter.com.
Awesome. And again, the book's name that's out right now is Texas Heat, and that's a sports fantasy. So it's not a porn, guys. It really is a sports fantasy. But I would love to have you back when your next book comes out, because this has been an awesome interview.
Yes, it has. And I can't wait to come back. I honestly,
Awesome.
I can't wait to come back, M.L. This has been a fantastic interview.
Always fun, but I will talk to you next time. And for listeners, happy reading.
Take care. Bye-bye.